Hello everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore, and I have another fun fold for you today. This one, I'm not even sure what they call it, but it has a little flap and it opens like this. And I love the sentiment. It says, "Oh holy night, the stars are brightly shining." This is our So Many Stars bundle, and I can't get enough of this one either. It is so pretty. But I used our silver foil on this. I am embossing this star. It's so pretty. And so this is what I'm sharing today. So excuse the voice today because I have gotten myself some sinus issues and a cold. So bear with the voice, and if I start coughing, I'm really sorry. So let's go ahead and get started with this. You are going to need a regular card base at 5.5 by 4.25. We are going to cut this part, but I'll show you that in a minute. You are going to need to mat it. A piece that is 5.25 by 4, and then the very vanilla is 5.25 or 3.75 by 5. See, my brain ain't even working. So this is 5.25 by 4. This one is 3.75 by 5. And for the front part, we're going to use this, which is 5.25 by 2. And the Designer Series paper I'm using is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not using the foil side, it's the brightly gleaming Specialties Designer Series paper. Now, I really wanted to use the shiny part for this, but I wanted to stick with the silver and the Night of Navy. But look how gorgeous this is, this paper. But I'm using the back side, but I absolutely love it. And I love this, but again, I wanted to stick with the silver this time. So that is what we're using for this. And then you're going to need two pieces. One piece of Mossy Meadow, which is 3.25 by 4 1/8. And then this piece is 3 by 4. And both of these we are scoring at 3/4. And I've already done that on this because I want to speed it up because we do have to emboss and stuff on this card. So I wanted to try to make it a little bit quicker. So I'm just going to use some glue on this. There we go. And then you're just going to adhere this. I'm going to adhere a little bit on here too. And you're going to layer this on here. Just like that. And then this is going to flap under, and I'll show you how we attach that in just a minute. We need to cut the front part first, and on this front you are going to cut it at 2 1/8. So it's cutting it in half, your front panel. So it's just like that. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to layer this, and I'm going to use wet glue for this, so I have a few minutes, and we are going to adhere this underneath here like that. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to this first. So we're just going to put some on here, and you want to make sure when you do this that it's centered. Just, you know, eyeball it and see, and then you can move it because it's the wet glue. And then we're going to adhere all of this. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to do something with this because it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm sure I'm going to make some kind of a treat holder or something with it. It's so, so pretty. So put enough on there, and then we're going to adhere this to here. And again, you can move it, slide it so that it's even. Alright, so we're going to add adhesive to this one. And I'm actually going to stamp this one inside. Well, it's already inside. I was going to stamp it first, but I didn't on the other one, so I'm going to just go ahead and stamp this. after we get it adhered, and we're going to go ahead and adhere this piece to the front. All right, and now this one, it's one that it's really hard to for it to stay closed on its own. It will stay about, that will be about as closed it'll go. Now if you want to keep this closed, you can roll up a little piece of a glue dot and kind of make it a little sticky with your hands, take a little of the stickiness off, and I just added it right there to the card, and it will keep it closed if you like it to be closed. That's just a little tip. You don't have to do that, but that's what I did for that one. All right, so the stamp set, the bundle actually that I'm using is the So Many Stars. I love this. It's so pretty. So these are the dies for it, and these are also the dies, and we're using these 3 on this project today, on this card today. So I am going to cut out a large star with the Night of Navy, and then we're going to cut out one with Very Vanilla, but we're going to stamp first and then we're going to cut it out. And then we're going to emboss that one, and then you're going to run this through twice on our silver foil paper, and that is this one right here. So I ran it through twice so I can get extra stars, and I've already done that, so it's going to save a little bit of time here. And we are going to adhere this one, which is so pretty. We're going to adhere this to the front, and then we'll do our embossing and our cutting out. So we're going to get all these basic parts first, and I'm just adhering to the largest areas on here with my wet glue. There's some little stars that you can add some glue to, and make sure it stays inside of your card here. And then just hold that down for a minute, because it is wet glue. You do have to hold it just for a minute. And then we have that on right there. All right, so let's set that aside, and let's go ahead and stamp and emboss our other piece. I'm going to use some of my embossing buddy that keeps the static down. We're going to use some of the Versamark, and we're going to ink up this star right here. This is so pretty. And I'm going to stamp that, and then I'm going to use my silver emboss. And we're going to emboss this one. So let me get the heat tool and let's emboss that. Okay, so I have that embossed. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that. It's so pretty. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the big shot up here now. Sorry about that. That's my doorbell. I happen to have my phone in here right now. So hopefully I won't get a call. I usually don't put my phone in here, but I needed, was waiting for a call. So we are going to hold this down with a little sticky note. And then let's bring up, let's see if we can run these both through at the same time. And this one fits on there just like perfectly. All right, let's get these through. And this has stitching around it, so it's so pretty. These dies are absolutely gorgeous. I love these stars. And then we have our Night of Navy. And everything is, oops, sorry about that. I am using Very Vanilla for our card base, in case you were wondering if that was Whisper White or Very Vanilla. Sometimes you can't tell on the video, but it is Very Vanilla because it coordinates with the Designer Series paper. So we're going to use some dimensionals to pop this one up. I'm just going to use a couple. This is the only thing I popped up on here. Everything else is flat because I wanted to keep it as flat as possible for the mailing purposes. So we're going to add that to the front here. And let's bring our card back in here. And we are going to adhere this to the front. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside before I forget to do that. And I'm actually going to bring my mat up here so that I can use my mat, because I am using photopolymer and it stamps a lot better on there. So we're going to stamp that right in the center behind this little flap there. And I am going to add a couple little stars on here. So I'm just going to use my Take Your Pick tool. So that's that. And then we're going to add some stars. I need to close this up. My brain is just not working 100%. And we're going to add stars to the front of this. And I'm just going to add them like along here. So I'm going to add one of the bigger ones here. My glue's not wanting to come out. I think I need a new one. Let me see if I can get it going here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to add one here. I'm kind of cascading them, you know, along the top here. So we're going to put another one here. I don't know what I would do without this Take Your Pick tool. I really don't. I'm going to put one there. The larger ones ain't so difficult. It's those little ones that get me. And for some reason, I'm short one, but I'm going to go ahead and just do it like this. And then we'll put the other little one up here. And I would probably put one more up at the top, one of the larger ones, like I did on the other one. But I'm going to leave it just like this because for some reason I must have dropped one of my stars. Because I'm one short, and I thought I counted them out perfectly before I started this video. But then again, my brain is really bad right now. It's a little fogged up. So that is it, everyone. So there's your card. I really, really think these are so pretty, and this is another fun one. And I love the sentiment, "Oh Holy Night, the stars are brightly shining." It's one of my favorite Christmas carols. And then here's our other one. And again, if you want this to stay closed, all I did was I took one of these little glue dots and I roll it really small, and it becomes less sticky. And you can just add it right there on your little flap, and then it will hold it down, and you will be able to lift it really easily. So that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications each time I upload a new video. I promise my mind will be better in the next one. I'll catch you in the next one, everyone. Have a blessed day. I'll see you later.